Welcome to the timeline expansion. Stay tuned because I'm going to do something I've never done before. Happy Tuesday. I have your energy update for Tuesday, September 2nd. Hi, my name is Paula Taylor. I'm a sound and energy activator, intuitive reader and channeler, body worker, and fearless alchemist, and I coach people on the path to spiritual awakening. All right, you ready for this? Okay, I've never done this before, but this was really important, and I've been talking kind of around this, and now I have sort of more specific information. So I've said this before, when we have like two solid white lines come in, my guides have been calling that a timeline expansion, and I finally understand what that means. So if you look, you can actually pause and zoom in. If you look right here and even right here, it almost looks like there's three layers of the graph laying on top of each other, like forward to back. And this is what they're telling me about what a timeline expansion is. Like, if you think about, old school graphs in school, you had X and then you have Y and then Z is like the 3D. We look at the graph from right to left a lot of time and we're looking for like a black line. For a timeline jump, we're looking at what's coming in. But this has been coming through for a while and I finally understand what they're meaning. There's actually layers front to back on this. So we have like three main timelines going on. In the very background where you see like kind of the nothing moving, that's the stagnation of like the full 3D. Like people who haven't done any awakening at all are just like in this background. They're still receiving, but that's kind of where they're at. They're not willing to move. And then right here, you can see like peeking out. It's this kind of release energy. So behind this in the front, there's actually a second layer. And this is like the awakening layer. This is like the people that are trying to kind of expand, that are just waking up, that are just starting to do this. And then in the front, this is what those of us on the so-called awakened timeline are experiencing, is like all of this activation, all of this amazingness. Okay, hopefully this works because having that behind me was kind of distracting me. I just wanted to point out what I was talking about. You can go and like zoom in and look at that more closely. So right now we're in three separate timelines. I mean, we're always in kind of like limitless timelines, and like personally we have different timelines, but there's three collective timelines that have separated out now. And you can see them on the graph. I think it's been this way for a while, and I think some of us are feeling it. And you can move back and forth fairly easily between these. But if you're in that kind of like complete background, like you might be feeling really heavy and really depressed and really stuck. And if you're really paying attention to kind of what's going on like in the collective right now, it's going to pull you into that vibration. So my guides are being really clear about like avoiding the distraction. Don't get distracted. Don't get fooled by all this distraction, all this stuff that's going on in the collective. It's trying to pull you down into that like heaviness. The second layer is the release. I'm willing to move through the heaviness, but I've got to do the work around that. I've got to be willing to look at the things that aren't serving me. Some of the things that aren't serving you might be engaging with all of these like chaotic things in the collective right now. My guides were very clear when I was thinking about this yesterday. If you are engaging with that, it is affecting your vibration. It is affecting your frequency. And the answer to that is to not engage. Even if you're engaging with anger, you are still engaging. And in fact, anger is a heavier vibration than if you were happy about what was happening. So in that very front, all of that huge activation that's coming through, like I feel amazing. I had a big heart opening last week. I had a big expansion. Those two white lines, there's a lot of energy coming in. I used my Pleiadian activation and it helped move that. It helped create this lattice. I haven't had any headaches. I haven't had any ascension symptoms. I'm not saying this like, oh, I'm so amazing, it's so great. I'm saying that if you're doing the work, you have more likelihood of ending up in that space. So I'm going to help you with that because I just published the Pleiadian light body activation. So just like the Mintakan activations, there's two. The first one is the Pleiadian energy activation. You can go to the website. If you use the code PLAY, that will give you 20% off the energy activation. And then the second activation is the Pleiadian light body activation. That's the one I was testing on myself when I was having like the beginning of a migraine, and actually stopped the migraine. And I make no guarantees about this. I'm being very clear, not just as a CYA, just as like, I don't know how it will affect you personally. I don't know where you're at. I don't know what your energy is. I do know that when all this activation energy is coming in and you've got that body anxiety and you're feeling really overwhelmed, the Pleiadian energy can allow that to find more space in your system, because we want that energy. We just want it to be distributed in a way that we can use it without feeling triggered, without feeling completely overwhelmed. So if you're in the front of that graph and you're like receiving all of this like activation, and maybe you're excited, but you're kind of scared, or you're having the body anxiety, the Pleiadian activations are really going to help with that. If you're in the release, the Mintakan activations are really going to help with that. The Mintakan energy activation is still 20% off with the code LIGHT. If you are like brand new and you've never seen this before, and you're like, what the heck is a Mintakan, and what the heck is a Pleiadian, and what are you talking about? You are still, the fact that you're seeing this means that you're starting to wake up, and just engaging with spiritual content in a way that's discerning, in a way that like the content feels like it's serving your highest and most illuminated good. That's the beginning of your path, starting to explore things, starting to read. Lots of free resources. There's a blog on my website. There's over 200 episodes of my podcast. Those are all free. All the links to those are on my website. I am offering you tools because this is a huge pivotal moment. This month is a huge pivotal month, and you're going to need help. And not everybody can engage with me one-on-one. And frankly, I can't see everyone one-on-one. It wouldn't work for me. So when I heard this message a few months ago, I have goosebumps over my whole body. They said you're meant to awaken millions. And I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't know how to do that. These are all the tools that are going to help you do that. I've got a book. It's $12 on Amazon. Like there's all these layers, just like there's layers on the graph, there's all these layers of ways to engage with this further. And I will tell you that like just watching TikToks is not going to be enough. You've got to do some more internal work around that. And it doesn't mean you have to spend thousands of dollars or like, you know, get a personal guru. It just means you need to engage beyond, like at a deeper level, because this frothy stuff, there's a lot of this frothy spirituality that's around, like love and light and I wear all white and everything is beautiful. That is not real spirituality. Sometimes we're in that place, but right now, like the shiz be getting real, like the shiz be hitting the fan. And first of all, don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to yourself. Do the internal work. My whole body is tingling right now, and I'm practically crying because I can feel the importance of this message. And a lot of you watch me all the time and like feel this when I say you are supported, but you've got to stop paying attention to the chaos and the collective because it's trying to distract you. It is purposely trying to keep the vibration heavy and stagnant and in that like oily, lizardy, dark energy. If you're stuck in that space, try the Mintakan stuff. That's going to help. If you're like in the space of activation and you're not sleeping and you've got the body anxiety and you're like, blah, which is where I am, which is like sort of fun, but also like kind of a lot. The Pleiadian stuff is going to help you with that. So I'm going to give you an activation of both. I'm going to give you some Mintakan. I'm going to give you some Pleiadian. I'm going to give you some Angelic, because that is where all of this comes out of. All other light language comes out of Angelic light language. So there's a huge shift happening. Wherever you are in the shift, just work where you're at and let go of judgment around that. If you're having a heavy day, work with that Mintakan energy. If you're having an anxious day, work with that Pleiadian energy. If you can't engage with any of that, go listen to the podcast or read the book or find some other, it's not just me, but find creators who feel like they are aligned with you, who are stating things about being in your highest and most illuminated good. Don't do this while you're driving. Close your eyes, put a hand on your heart and maybe a hand on your belly today if you can. Put something in the comments to consent. Me and the amano and the my and the me and the ooh yeah me and the mo ooh yeah me and the my and the mo ooh yeah say Kanaya takia taka takia na kaya taka takia na kaya taka takia na kaya takia na ka koeta kanaya takia takia na kaya take ko na kaya takia taka na kia taka na ko takaya na kia take ia takanaya takia takia taka uyama say hi Kwe anasa she anaka asana she sana ianaka sa she ana. You are so loved. You are so supported. You have got this. Wherever you are, you've got this. I love you. Have a beautiful rest of your day.